we came to one of the most important lessons, and that has to do with your diaphragm. You need kind of only one muscle to have a balanced breathing, and that's your diaphragm. But here's the problem. Most of you, they have a contracted diaphragm continuously or a lot of the time. So you need to become conscious about this part, and then your feeling is your guide. And of course I have tips and tricks you simply just need to do. Okay? So your diaphragm is a really big muscle. I'm here with my hands, but you don't see it in the camera, sorry. It's a really big muscle. It goes completely from one side to the other of your body, underneath your lungs. So when you breathe in, the diaphragm goes downwards, and there is a pressure difference between the outer air and your inner air in the lungs, and then the air gets kind of sucked into your lungs. When you breathe out, your diaphragm goes up and kind of pushes the air out of your lungs. If your diaphragm is too much contracted, then there's another part of breathing, and that has to do with the muscles between your ribs, and then you start to breathe from your chest. So with your observation you did before, you can also check, and otherwise perhaps you remember, or you simply know, that you breathe a lot out of your chest. So if this happens, then your diaphragm is contracted. But if I ask you now to flex your muscles, tighten your muscles on your right arm, tighten, 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 do it, tighten, tighten, and let go. Okay, do it on your left arm. Tighten, 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 hold on, and let go. This will work, right? But if I ask you, contract your diaphragm, I don't think it's possible. For some people, no. But most of you, especially when you have a breathing out of balance, it's really difficult to get in contact with that muscle. So the next best thing, kind of, is your belly. So what I sometimes say is, when you have your hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly, let your belly be kind of like a bag of water, soft. And when you breathe in, your hand needs to go forwards. And when you breathe out, your hand needs to go backwards. This is kind of the general idea. But perhaps for you, it's even reverse. So when you breathe in, your hand goes in, and when you breathe out, your hand goes out. Then it's the other way around. This can happen. Then you need to practice by sitting down like this, relax as good as can be. And then try in the beginning, even though this is the first step, later on you need to let that go, but in the beginning then you can push kind of your hand forwards with breathing in. And pull it kind of in when you breathe out. But if your breathing is like I told before, when you breathe in, your belly is going in front, and when you breathe out, your belly is going back. Don't do this. Don't do this, because then you're going to learn something wrong, okay? But check this for yourself. So if you have it reversed, you need to practice this before you continue the other techniques. You can do the mini pause. This is a technique which will come next. You can do that, but first you need to have the proper working of your muscles. So, and if you find out you have difficulty with your diaphragm on the movement of your belly, what you can do now is also temporarily, but you can lie down and take 2 or 3 books, let's say 2 to begin with, and you place the books on your belly when you're lying down. And when you breathe in, try to bring the books up. And when you breathe out, try to relax. This is really important. Again, this is a step, okay? It's kind of a stepping stone. So by letting go, you can feel, because the weight of the books, you can kind of push your belly a little bit inside. It's really gentle, but you need to feel what happens when you let go. But perhaps for you, if you're looking at this video and you put your hand on your chest, your other hand on your belly, and check. If you consciously think about it, can you move, or can you feel, let's put it differently, can you feel that your stomach is going to the front when you breathe in? And when you breathe out, can you feel your stomach, your belly, going in? If you can do this, check. Okay, good. Okay, then we continue. What is really important is, how does it feel when you let go? Again, your feeling is your guide. So if I grab my arm and I kind of do it a little bit hard, so white knuckles, right? And I gently let go. No, a little bit loose. Okay, do it again. Do it with me. Grab your arm, tighten it, and gently kind of let the blood flow. How does this feel? You can do this with your leg. You can do this by tightening the muscles in your hand and let go. How does the letting go feel? So then you go back to your diaphragm. Most of the people, they cannot consciously get in contact with the diaphragm, at least not in the beginning. Perhaps in a couple of months, but now for most people, when you do this program, it's too difficult. Okay, so you sit down, as relaxed as you can be. You breathe in. You feel your belly going forwards. And you let go. And when you let go, by letting go, you breathe out. This is a really important part. By letting go, you breathe out. So perhaps it's a little bit a silly example, but when a person is about to die, silly example perhaps, but on the other hand, it says a lot. And people, they breathe out the last air. It goes like, and not only do they look kind of smaller, it's kind of a lot of energy is going out, but they're breathing out by themselves, by letting go. So try, when you breathe in, if you can feel your stomach going forwards, and try by letting go, you kind of feel also, kind of you get better in contact with gravity or something like that, you know? Okay, try to breathe in. Feel your belly doing something, like the bag of water. relaxed as you can be at this moment. And when you let go, by letting go, you breathe out. This is a really important basics. And there is an old Indian saying which says, if you're sitting on a dead horse, get off. And what they mean by that is the basics got to be good. So if you can follow me by breathing in, letting go, and it's kind of doable, then I would suggest you go to the next video, to the next lesson. But if you have problems and your diaphragm is too much contracted, then I suggest you look to this video again. A good practice to learn how to loosen your diaphragm is to pull in your stomach. So pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, almost at the back of your spine. Pull it in and gently let go. And even push your belly a little bit outwards, like you had a lot of food. Okay? Then again, pull it back in, back, easy, but more, until your spine. And then let it go. Let it go even more, not too fast, slowly, and even push your belly outwards. This is a good practice to do when you have difficulty in relaxing your diaphragm, or when you have difficulty feeling your belly going up and down when you breathe.